They ride on the air.
Like an air car?
Sort of. What are you building, Jamie?
It's our house. Can't you tell?
Yes, but you haven't finished it.
What did I forget?
What's this room?
That's the center where I go to school.
And this?
That's where the computer lives, and where I go to sleep, and where you and Daddy sleep, and where we go to swim, and where we see the ball game.
And the symphony.
What did I...
Well, you left out the room where you're supposed to scrub behind your ears.
Oh, yeah. The bath core.
Right. And there's one more, the health center.
Where Daddy exercises and gets measured?
Right.
How does the computer know everything? I mean, like, how many times to exercise and all?
I haven't the faintest notion. That's just too much for your old mother to understand.
Old? You're not so old.
Well, I'll be 44 next year.
That's not so old.
Not anymore.
What year is it now? I forgot.
Here, I'll show you.
Evening. So this is what I'm going to call Future Retro Friday. This is look at vintage perspective, or I guess a vintage perspective on the future. So this movie is called 1999 AD. It was produced in 1967. Looks like it's produced by the Ford Corporation. So they're going to throw in some cars, some under the radar car advertisement. So there were a son and a mother were on the beach there talking about, talking about the air car and, the computer, the room where the computer lives. And, mom hasn't have a clue. So I guess in the future, women's lib still didn't take off. She just doesn't know. It's just too complicated for silly old mom. And you got to like this ominous music, that kind of chimes in. I'm waiting for some 8 men to ride across the beach on some horses. All right, so let's check this out, and we're gonna see how accurate they were in 1967 on the technology in 1999 at the turn of the new century.
AD. More than a generation away, and yet dreams travel faster than light. And even now, scientists and planners.
That is their car. They don't even have, in the future, they don't even need driveways. They just pull right up on the sand. Okay, so let's check this thing out. All right. Is this a 6-wheel drive car? So they decided in the future they're going to need 4 front wheels. I have no idea why. So you got this swinging door that comes out here that's completely practical, and these gull wing window door. I don't know. It looks like a combination, and this entire plexiglass top here, canopy. I guess they're trying to, this is like the Jetsons or something. They tried doing one of these plexiglass wraparound windshield, like a bubble roof. I think it was Cadillac. And it was like this touring car, and it just had this big bubble front like facade. And the complaint about it was that they baked in the car. When it was sunny out, they would just sweat to death in this thing. So I don't think that was probably after this. Couldn't have been much later than that. I don't know. I should check the year or whatever, but I think it was Cadillac that did it, and it was terribly. It was a horrible, horrible design. And plus, the plexiglass, it it becomes opaque after a while because you get all these micro scratches in it and stuff. But evidently, Ford thought, "Hey, this is the car of the future here." Completely impractical. I mean, look at that. It's just you'd have what? Look at that drivetrain. You'd have three axles. Why? Why add all that weight? That must be, I don't know, absolutely absurd. And it's just kind of funny. It's just parked on the beach. All right, I just had to throw that in there. It's pretty humorous, at least to me.
Lives of our children who will live in the 21st century. How will they live? Perhaps in a honeycombed structure like this, the oldest, strongest natural shape known. Hexagon modules that grow with a family's size and interests. Michael Shaw, 45, husband, father, is an astrophysicist. Several days each week, he commutes to a distant laboratory where he's engaged in the Mars One project, the colonization of the first planet. His minor in the some 10 years he attended a Midwestern university was botany. It is one of his many continuing hobbies. He is engrossed on this sunny morning in the study of the cellular structure of a new exotic fruit tree. Hopefully, his experiments will produce a giant peach with a thick protective skin much like that of a tangerine. This is one of the many 21st century devices or appliances that are part of the everyday life of the Shaw family. This workbench with its electronic screen enables Michael to call up photographic sections of the two parent fruit trees from which he began his experiments 3 years ago. At that time, he stored the two photographic images in the central home computer, which is secretary, librarian, banker, teacher, medical technician, bridge partner, and all-around servant in this house of tomorrow. All pertinent information about this family, its records, its tastes, and reference material, is stored in these memory banks, available instantly to every member of the family.
Oh. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let me get this back. All right, sorry about that. I set up some keyboard shortcuts and I guess they disappeared or something. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. So the father is looks like he's an astrophysicist. So I don't know why he's doing botany. I have no idea. They definitely got that wrong. But he's on the Mars One project. So that is something they totally predicted back in 1967, but most likely the Mars One project now is probably, it's turning out to be just a big scam, but they got the name right, so you gotta give them props on that. So I paused it, or attempted to pause it here originally because they're showing this is the central computer for the house. So in the year, 1999, we're going to have this massive supercomputer that just runs everyone's house. Look at that. That's epic. Yeah, because, the average person would be able to afford that. Well, he is an astrophysicist, working on the Mars One project. So, these people are probably pretty loaded. So look at that poor sad kid. He's living in 1999 and he's just sitting there all bummed out. You know why? Because he doesn't have a Game Boy. That is why. Look at that. Look at that poor guy. All right, let's get back to checking on this family here.
James Shaw, 8 years old, student, attends formal school 2 mornings a week. Much of his education, however, is carried on in a kind of education center within the home.
And so, an era that began 500 years earlier with Copernicus and Galileo ends as the first astronaut takes his first halting steps onto the shores of the moon and begins a new age of man.
His assignments are programmed into the home computer and fed into teaching machines, which allow him to progress as rapidly as his awakening mind can absorb the audio-visual lessons.
Okay, well, they got that right. Look at that big screen TV there. They didn't figure out widescreen would be invented, but they do have computers everywhere in the house, so they got that right too. So this is his looks like his terminal to learn. And I don't know where the keyboard is. I don't know what this thing is. I don't know if it's like, I guess they adapted to the stenography or something, because that is not a normal keyboard. Let me see. But he is being homeschooled, and he's learning his education through, the home central computer. They didn't really fathom the internet back then, even though it was a thing, at least for universities and such.
Lecture 102. Galileo's life work, and indeed his personal character, can perhaps be exemplified by describing one of his early experiments. According to Aristotle, a body that falls possesses weight. Those that do not fall have no weight. Since
Oh, that was funny. If you saw the on the computer there, it said, he figured out let me see, what was the question? It said something like the Earth was round. So Terry thinks he was a flat earther, huh? So they they predicted that right too, that the world would be overran with adolescent flat earthers failing at science. So that's another point for the movie. They definitely got that right. And then he fails his exam. He goes over and turns on the lecture or whatever. Then he goes over and watches cartoons. So I guess they got that right. I mean, that might be something that just doesn't change. But they definitely predicted the the adolescent flat earther failing at science. So this might be an incredibly accurate documentary right here. What do you call this? I don't know, a docudrama or something like that. But they have computers in every corner of this room here. So I don't know if this is the living room. I don't know if this is his bedroom. So we're going to find out. But this kid isn't going to... I mean, his dad's a freaking astrophysicist, and he's sitting there watching cartoons, failing his exams. Where's the father in all this? I mean, that's a question we need to ask. These are the important questions. And Mom is as dumb as rocks. She doesn't know how computers work or anything. Oh, maybe times haven't changed that much. All right, he's watching some cartoons now on his on computer number 3 here. So let's see what happens.
Not fall, it has no weight. Galileo decided to examine this conclusion in his own fashion.
Karen Ann Shaw, 43, wife, mother, part-time homemaker.
Hey, Mom, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. How about lunch?
How about 2 minutes?
Okay, 2 minutes and counting. 120, 119,
All right, but you better not show up with a dirty face.
115, 113, 112,
Mike, how about chicken salad? Cheese omelet?
Cheeseburger, some French fries, and a nice cold bottle of beer.
I'll see. Mike, cold roast beef?
Okay, be right there.
75, 74, 73. $39, $38, $37, $36. $20, $19, $18, $17, $16.
2, 1.
And luncheon is served.
Okay, let's get a look at this kitchen here. So she goes over to her little computer, and it tells them what to make, what to eat, calories, and all that. So they're really health conscious. Sorry. So I have no idea what this is. I don't know, some kind of microwave. They should have had microwaves in the 60s, or maybe that was the 70s. I don't know. Well, we'll see. Maybe they'll say. And then they got this copper cookware that looks completely untouched. and these little tubes that their plates drop down. So I guess this is all conveyor belts up in here. If you saw that they showed the Philco logo like right up there. So I wonder if Philco actually had some kind of design or idea to actually create this. I mean, the thing that's always funny with these prediction videos is that it's way too complicated. It's like the car with like 3 freaking axles. Why would you do that? Why would you overcomplicate something? What's the purpose of that? Why would you build a house with like conveyor belts moving food from the refrigerator to the this microwave, whatever the thing it is? I mean, it's seriously. I mean, you'd waste all that technology, all this mechanics just to do that, when all you have to do is just, pick up the plate and set in the freaking microwave. I mean, I guess if you have money to burn, why not? And like I said, hey, he's an astrophysicist working on the Mars 1 project. So who knows? All right, let's see here. Let's check out dinner.
Split-second lunches, color-keyed disposable dishes, all part of the instant society of tomorrow. A society rich in leisure and taken for granted comforts. At the turn of the next century, most food will be stored frozen in individual portions. The computer will keep a running inventory on all foodstuffs and suggest daily menus based on the nutritional needs of the family. When the meal has been selected, the various portions are fed automatically into the microwave oven for a few seconds of thawing or warming. The house of 1999 will be virtually maintenance-free. A central atmospheric system will maintain constant year-round temperatures and control humidity, bacteria, pollen, and dust. Clothing of the non-disposable variety will be stored in cleaning closets, where a chemical vapor atmosphere and an ultrasonic vibrator will remove dirt particles.
Okay, it just went sideways. Yeah, so they had frozen dinners. I mean, this isn't new technology. Not even in the late '60s. I mean, they had TV. Well, they had TV dinners since post World War II. I don't know when the microwave was invented, or I want to say it was in the late '60s. So there was definitely a microwave, and so that was a microwave that she put her stuff in there, and there was absolutely no shielding. There was no microwave shielding. So I guess they figured that out. I don't know. And let's see, what else were they saying? All right, so right here, look at this thing. So they thought 1967, by the year 2000, we would have what do you call it? The ultrasonic vibrator. So that's something definitely for the missus. And yeah, the air conditioning. Well, the air conditioning. They had. I want to say maybe not. Probably the early 50s. They had semi-affordable like window units. They would have been the cost of a car most likely, and they didn't have central air. So central air would have been something that was definitely accurately predicted, and they didn't really start putting central air into houses until like sometime in the 70s, most likely like the early 70s. So at the time when this was made, there was no central air and heat. So they did mention the filtration units and stuff, and so they definitely got that right. So we have our HEPA filters and our ionizer, whatever they're called, the air ionizer machines or whatever. But this right here is pretty absurd. So they thought that they would have an ultrasonic cleaning closet to keep your clothes in, and they're just vibrating away just like nothing. And if you heard him, he said disposable clothes. So, in the 60s too, the big thing was plastics. I mean, plastics were becoming really efficient. They were just everywhere. So, but they weren't treated as disposable then. It was more like like uh, like um, an art medium. It was like the new exciting state of the art thing is plastics. They didn't see it like we saw it today. I mean, they like in 1960 you had a plastic chair that was like state of the art. That was cool beans. But this idea of a ultrasonic cleaning closet is, I mean, just imagine the energy required to do this, and it has these vapor chemicals. It's weird. They have I remember reading about like an ultrasonic dishwasher. I don't ever know if they ever made it, but it would probably be something more like for like hospitals, like to like sterilize surgical equipment or something. But it's just not efficient. I mean, you do the same thing in what's that, is it an autoclave? I think that's what it is. But you do the same thing with like heat and steam. I mean, why would you want ultrasonic? I don't know. But they definitely, this is probably the biggest error they made right here so far. Everything else is pretty good though. Yeah, coat hangers weren't given an upgrade. Yeah, that you definitely have something to look forward to. I mean, these ultrasonic vibrators, they sound pretty high tech. I mean, I don't know. Let's okay. All right. So they got their clothes. They've eaten. They have their clothes clean. The kid's failed his test, and he watched his cartoons. So, you know, I guess they didn't have technology against that yet. All right. Let's see here.
Fingertip shopping will be one of the many homemaker's conveniences. This video console will be channeled into the store of her choice. There, a camera will scan a display of wares, which she will select by push button. Another part of this console is a household monitor screen, which maintains a watch on critical areas in the house, swimming pool, or yard.
They nailed that. They have I mean, we know it as online shopping, but, well, so where's this thing connected to? Because the only thing they've ever mentioned was the home central computer. Yeah, they totally got the eBay, the Amazon, all that down. It looks like these screens, because they look like they're like microfiche, or if you ever seen like 8mm, 16mm film editing machines, that's what it looks like. But once again, okay, there's a normal keyboard right there. So the mother has her own computer. It's, you know, off to the kitchen because she's not allowed to leave the kitchen, obviously. And so the father has his own. They nailed this multi-screen thing though. They got that. That's really impressive that they actually predicted this. That's spot on right there. And the shopping, the online shopping. And so I guess over here is maybe a printer. I don't know why the keyboards still look like typewriters. So they haven't really streamlined anything, but they figured out that they'd have smaller screens. But this looks like what is this, a 1-to-1 ratio? This is even 4-to-3. But I guess this would be Windows 67, 1967 right here. All right, so Dad has his own computer. Mom has his own computer, or her own computer. The kid has 3. So that's something they totally got right. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Because if you look at technology in like 1967 as far as like computers and stuff, well, they had microprocessors, the concept of microprocessors like in the 50s, but I don't think they actually did anything with it. Intel didn't come up with their first CPU until like the 70s, and that was only like a 4-bit CPU. just a bunch of nerd talk. I don't want to bore you guys, but so the thing, my point is where is the computer? These are all, I guess, dummy terminals, and everything is connected to that massive computer with all the knobs and switches that look like a freaking analog synthesizer from the 60s. So I mean, I guess in a sense they got that right too, because you have the home network. You know, a lot of people will have a networking computer in their closet or off into another room, and all the media and everything's connected to that. So they got that right. So let's see what Dad's gonna do. You see, what's that, Terry? Terry said he's gonna go look on porn. Oh, we got well, they got that right too, because, you know, porn really took off in the 70s. He's gonna, while the kid and mom are distracted, he's gonna go off and go look at some porn. All right, let's see. Well, the workday's over, so let's see what he's gonna do after dinner.
What the wife selects on her console will be paid for by the husband at his counterpart console. All bills and transactions will be carried out electronically. A central bank computer will debit the family's account the amount of purchases and credit the department store, for example, informing the family's home computer at the same time. Father, at the touch of a button, receives an instantaneous printed copy of his budget, the amount of taxes he owes, the payments left on the car, and so forth. All documents and household records are available on the video screen for immediate reference. Also at his disposal is an electronic correspondence machine, or home post office, which allows for instant written communication between individuals anywhere in the world. To maintain these and hundreds of complex electronic circuits,
So if you saw that, he was looking at the bills, and it was all from I guess his wife shopping online, because he's like shaking his head. It's like, oh my God, what does she buy now? And then here's the central computer now. This is the central home computer. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Well, you know what? He makes some money, and she just blows it on eBay. All right. Here, let me look up something here. I want to show, because I might have viewers of all ages, so I don't know what they've seen and stuff. This is what I think this looks like here. Let's see. So this is some analog technology from right around that era, and so they kind of weren't very imaginative, because it looks like that's what they ripped off right there. Is that this is a Moog synthesizer. This is all analog. There's no microprocessor or anything in there. It's all transistors and wires, and they're built by hand. But maybe the guy the set designer was inspired by that. But this is exactly what that looks like. So, and it's funny how they have like 1,500 million screens, and the central computer is just a bunch of blinking lights and stuff. Well, I guess servers do kind of look like that today, because that's all they are. So, I just wanted to show you that. But yeah, that's totally what that looks like. All right, let's get back here.
checks all circuits every few seconds, inserts a backup circuit if and when trouble develops, and alerts the communal service agency for replacement. The Home Energy Center, with its fuel cell, furnishes power, provides absolutely pure water, burns waste, and heats or cools the rooms. Too computerized? Too cold? The world of tomorrow will be as cold as sunlight tuned through photochromic windows.
All right, that's something else they got right here. Well, they call it photochromic windows. I don't know what they're called today, but they're actually rather really affordable. They are windows with an LCD. I don't know if you'd call it a screen, but it's definitely liquid crystal, and they're clear until you run voltage through it. Then they become opaque and they turn like this off-white color. So they got that right. But, you know, that technology is maybe just a decade old. So they were a little late on it, but it definitely did happen. So I wanted to bring that up. So this is pretty cool how they do have a lot of this stuff down. No, it's not window tint. It's there's actually like an LCD grid like sandwiched in between the glass, and they have some of it it's like some of it can be photosensitive or temperature sensitive, and it would turn opaque. It would turn like what's another word for opaque? Like a solid like white color. And you can buy this. I mean, this is something that totally exists today, and it's not unreasonable either. So it's definitely affordable technology. Why we don't see it anywhere, I don't know. I really don't know. You might, you know what? You might in Dubai or very hot regions. You know that it's also a matter of money, having the money to get that rather than just regular standard windows. So, like I said, a lot of this is having money to burn, which I guess that's never going to change. You know, you have money to burn, you're going to have all the fancy stuff and windows that auto tint. All right, let's see. Mother's reading. So I'm really curious on what she's reading. It's definitely not any kind of a textbook. So maybe it's a Danielle Steele novel, knowing her. All right.
It will be as wide as the ocean, which will provide not only recreation for the adventurous, but an increasing variety of hydra-cultured exotic fresh foodstuffs. And tomorrow will be as happy as music.
Hey, Chopin, what's up?
Oh, playing a song?
Ah, what's it called?
I forgot.
You faker. How about playing the song we learned yesterday?
Okay.
Let's augment this a bit, shall we?
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, they did have audiobooks. They did not mention that. So she is just reading the old school way, you know. But you know, some people do enjoy that. But that would have been really nice to see if they actually had some kind of tablet. Then I would have officially been blown away. So looks like this is their home entertainment system. So I guess you would call this an iPod. They definitely got this wrong. Let's let it play a second here. Okay, yeah, there's absolutely no labels on anything here. I mean, you saw that Moog synthesizer, and it had all these buttons, but everything was labeled. So this is their iPod. This is their home entertainment right here. So let's see if they're any good. Okay, so that definitely wasn't an analog synthesizer. That was a total like digital, like a sampling keyboard type things. So you know what? No, I'll give that to them because they totally have that. They totally have that now. Maybe that's what she does. Maybe she's a musician or something. So I'll take it back. It's not an iPod. It's a digital synthesizer. It's not analog though. Not like that Moog that I showed you with all the knobs and buttons and whatnot. So I wonder what this guy is right here. So this just might be their little music room. Let's see.
Yes, life will be richer, easier, healthier as space-age dreams come true. As part of his everyday regime, Michael Shaw enters this home health center. He lies for perhaps 15 seconds on a kind of medical couch. His weight, temperature, pulse, respiration, blood pressure, and electrocardiogram are routinely recorded. At the same time, his body is scanned for any isolated temperature pockets that signal oncoming disease or a localized infection. At the end of the examination period, the computer calculates the amount of exercise necessary to balance Mike's food intake and maintain proper muscle tone.
Exercise requirements: 8.5 minutes bicycle, 6 minutes programmed calisthenics.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, this thing can make a mistake, you know.
Your weight increase over 30 days, 1.1 kilograms. Repeat exercise requirements: 8.5 minutes bicycle, 6 minutes programmed calisthenics. Confirm, please.
Oh.
The computer now relays any important physical changes.
Okay, seriously? I mean, seriously, hold on. Let's go back here. I thought he was gonna take a nap or something, but this is their exercise room. Look at this exercise outfit. He's wearing a freaking turtleneck. What the? Seriously? And who wears polyester pants and a polyester turtleneck and and black socks to exercise? Oh jeez. And this that computer's kind of bossy. Please confirm. Oh jeez. And this kid shouldn't even be lifting weights. He doesn't even know what the heck he's doing. He's gonna fucking throw something out of whack. Oh boy. Look at him. Look at him. I guess he's just going through the motions. Okay, let's see what they're saying here.
Changes to a central community medical center where Mike's personal physician will be alerted for further diagnosis. At conclusion of the exercise period, the pertinent data are again recorded for comparison with pre-exercise measurements. The results are again forwarded to the community medical center for further study if necessary. If the computerized life occasionally extracts its pound of flesh, it holds out some interesting rewards.
Hi, Fred. How's the old golf game?
Don't ask. 6 inches of snow and a blizzard on the way. What do you got in mind?
Oh, how about some golf at Pebble Beach Saturday afternoon?
Great. Anything to get out of here.
All right, hold on a minute. I don't know. The coast looks a little doubtful. There's a low moving in. Let me check Mexico City. Yeah, it looks great. All right, here's what we'll do. We'll meet at the El Centro about noon, have some lunch, and then we'll tee off.
Great. Only this time, I'm going to have to get about 2 strokes aside because I haven't been playing all winter, and I'm a little rusty, and I know that you've probably been playing every day, right? Sure.
So we're gonna take off 1 point because I thought this was like kind of like a multi-setup, kind of like a window, like what we're familiar with, like a Windows GUI, a Windows operating system. But what it looks like is each one of these monitors is for one specific thing. So this is to pay the bills. The second one is for teleconferencing, and the third one was for the weather. So that's not very efficient. So I'm gonna have to knock off a point there. So
About noon, have some lunch, and then we'll tee off.
Great. Only this time I'm going to have to get about 2 strokes aside because I haven't been playing all winter and I'm a little rusty, and I know that you've probably been playing every day, right? Sure.
In a virtually dirt-free environment, Karen Shaw, several hours a week, gets her hands very dirty. She's a skilled potter. Her work decorates their home and the homes of many of their friends. During her career years, she was a teacher of fine arts. Now she's able to continue practicing her crafts because the household demands on her time have been greatly diminished. In the same way, Jamie, although he has a rigorous lesson schedule, is already taking advantage of his electronic world.
So maybe this is like Bobby Fischer here because he failed his science quiz. He sat there and watched cartoons instead of listening to this lecture. Maybe I don't know, maybe he's a super genius that just at chess. But this is kind of funny because I guess this would be the interface for this chess game. So they got this whole setup. Well, I maybe it just connects to the TV, but what would have been really cool is if they actually had showed the chessboards with the magnetic pieces that would actually move on their own. But that's kind of cool, I guess. So he's playing chess. He sucks at everything, but darn it, he's a chess master. So maybe this is the end game here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Mom.
Dad?
Oh.
I'm replaying that game we had Sunday. He's a little loose with his queen, and I want to see if I can work that trap that Bobby Fischer used in the World Games.
Your dad will be home soon. Why don't you wait and play him live?
Okay.
Well, I've got things to do in the kitchen.
I think I'll help you. What you doing with the oranges?
I'm fixing dinner.
The old-fashioned way?
Mm-hmm. The old-fashioned way.
What you call that stuff?
Well, we're having duckling a la orange, my love.
That's pretty fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Are we having company?
The Shaws are giving a party.
Comme ça va aujourd'hui?
All right, so they're having duck a la l'orange, or whatever she said. Let's see.
From Denver to go up to 25,000 feet.
How are things in Paris, Pete? Family settled down okay?
Yeah, Marge loves it, and the kids are parley-booing like natives.
What about Vicky in med school?
Well, she likes to keep busy. And
How's the fishing in the Philippines?
Oh, I've never had a fishing like that anywhere in the world.
I still say you can't beat the Amazon. You know, I happened to catch a live performance of a very sensational youth singer from Puerto Rico the other night. Would you like to see it?
I'd love to, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Recorded a great new singer down San Juan way the other night. Would you like to see him? Oh, sure. Share it with you.
Hace mucho tiempo que no le veo, por favor. ¡Qué alegría!
Cuando sale de La Habana, válgame Dios, nadie me ha visto salir si no fui yo. Yo una alta guachimanga salía pues yo, que se vino tras de mí que sí se mío. Cuéntala tus amores y en mi vida, corónala de flores que es cosa mía, chinita que sí. Ay, que dame tu amor. Ay, que vente conmigo, chinita, a donde viva yo, viva yo, viva yo.
Mike.
Yeah, they did. They predicted MTV right there. 1967 predicted MTV. But I don't know what kind of console this is. They need all this to watch this MTV. I don't know. Let's see. Well, this is a pretty epic party. So not only did they predict MTV, they predicted really bad music. So we'll call that the 1967 equivalent of auto-tune, because I don't know what the heck that was, but they seem to enjoy it. So I guess I don't know. It's usually the kids that like the bad music, right? Isn't that the stereotype?
I think we show it to some friends of ours who spend a lot of time down there.
Sure. Well, I guess you want it in 3D, huh?
Yeah, we finally made the switch.
You got to keep up with the times, you know.
Yeah, but
But what?
well, there's 3D and 4D, you know. What's next?
What's next? You never know. You never really know.
He's like, I don't know what 4D would be. He's like, but this is in 3D. So what the heck is 4D? I have no idea. Maybe it's 4K. Maybe they just had the letters wrong. They were only a few letters off, so we'll give them some points for that. So they have 3D technology, and that's something they've been trying to get off the ground for decades. Constantly trying to get 3D going, and it just always fails. I mean, I think the closest or the most effective 3D that they have had was the NVIDIA, a graphics card company or graphics chip maker. They had the I forgot what it was called. Maybe it's 3D Vision. It's been a while, but it's basically you put on glasses, and the glasses have shutters that blink on and off, that they alternate blinking on and off each eye at like 60 times a second. Or actually, I think I don't think they got it up to 60 times a second. I think each eye blinks at 30 times a second. So it's kind of, you get this kind of flickering effect. I've never experienced it, and I don't even know if they're still doing anything with the technology. But they're always trying to get 3D taking off, and it just hasn't happened yet. But they definitely had 4K, and he said, "Hey, man, 4D. What's next? 4D, you know." Maybe that's what he meant. I have no idea. It's probably just a marketing gimmick. This looks like the end here. Well, let's see here.
What's next? The things you've seen are technically possible today. It remains only to apply what we now know to fulfill these dreams of tomorrow. The world of 1999 and beyond is limited only by the boundaries of our imagination today.